Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Please remember, these are collective readings. If it resonates with you and you wish to get further clarification, please do get a reading by somebody who offers personal reads before you take this personally here, okay? Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of your likes and your shares and your subscribes. We'll see what we got going on. Spirit, what is it you would like the collective to know this morning, please, and thank you. High Priestess in the upright. Divine wisdom, divine feminine wisdom. Challenged by Two of Wands in the upright. Challenged by some form of reconciliation, plans of leaving home. In the subconscious. Nine of Pentacles in the upright. For rewards for the fruits of your labor. In the recent past. Got the Hermit, a light being shined on everything. Intentions and expectations. Conflict. In the near future, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Karmic life cycle, the lens is being looked through. The Seven of Pentacles in the upright. Rewards, again, rewards. Rewards for the fruits of your labor, rewards for your hard work. In the environment, we've got Temperance in the upright, so there's balance, harmony. Difficult decisions being made from a Temperance mindset with compassion and emotional stability. So difficult decisions are being made in a Temperance energy, or an Earth Angel is making difficult decisions, utilizing an emotionally stable and compassionate mind. Hopes and fears. Somebody is weary. Or maybe you've been in a Nine of Wands for a long time. You're balanced, making difficult decisions from a compassionate heart. There's celebration and reunions, perhaps a marriage. You're weary. And this is going to be an abundant new career opportunity with the Ace of Pentacles, and then you've got the Page of Swords here, so it's a new contract. And the outcome? We've got a Knight of Swords who's ambitious, defending their beliefs, driven to succeed, rushing in passionately, with a Death reversed. They're resistant to change. They want to hold on to whatever it is they got going on. They don't want things to change. So they're still fighting it with this conflict. They're still bringing conflict. Queen of Swords, that's the truth. And there will be a victory over this. Leaving them in a Ten of Swords. And that's justice served. Alrighty then, so you've got the High Priestess here. These two cards want to flip right out. Arcana and Spiritual Throne. High Priestess. High Morals. The challenge is making decisions to attain goals. Some sort of reconciliation. An end to fighting. Observation. Looking at everything very clearly. This High Priestess Arcana who's on a spiritual throne is looking at everything very clearly. She's in a temperance energy, and she's also emotionally stable and compassionate. She's looking at everything very clearly regarding this reconciliation. There are rewards for the fruits of your labor. Perfection. We got the Hermit here shining a light on everything. Making the invisible entertainment visible. Everything that these people have been doing for entertainment purposes is being made known. They're here trying to defend them beliefs. Oh, I treated you like shit because of this. I gave you so much conflict because of this. It was necessary. Oh, no. No, it wasn't. It was cruel, is what it was. It was cruel. And you've got more conflict up here. They're still invisible. They're still entertaining themselves by bringing forth conflict. And it's being seen. It's not hidden. You think you're invisible, but you're being seen. All of that competition you brought to the Evermores, all of that fighting, all of that rivalry, all of that petty ego, I want your stuff, competition for divine relationship from these people who aren't divine. They're not equipped for this divine union. They want to bring rivalry and conflict to this divine union. They want to get with somebody so they can compete with somebody. They don't want to get with somebody so they can love them. They want to get with somebody so they can stuff swords in them and take their stuff. That's the way they see ever more relationships. They see them as a competition. So we've got the karmic cycle here. With defense, people were able to defend themselves. These ever more unions were able to defend themselves from these parasites. They're coming into their heart, to the reward for their hard work. They've remained optimistic through these challenges. They're balanced in a temperance energy. It could actually be an earth angel that is making difficult decisions from a compassionate and stable heart space. It could be that that's what this earth angel's purpose is. And they're weary. They're weary because they've had to stand up for themselves regarding love, regarding marriage, regarding freedom, regarding an abundant life. They had to stand up for themselves. They're in a 9 of Wands. And now there's negotiations for a new contract. And I wouldn't doubt it if there was no contract, because contracts like this have really soured people. At least it soured me. Having these fools come in and play with love makes me want to say, no, I'll be single forever and I'll deliver love in my own way, and I don't need anybody here to direct the show. Justice is being served on behalf of those who shine. New contracts. This person is still rushing in to defend their beliefs. Oh, I treated you really shitty because this is how it was taught. Well, bullshit. You're just afraid that you're going to lose out on stuff. You're trying to steal stuff from your beloved because you don't want your wealth to end. You fear a change. You fear the fact that you might have to actually love somebody rather than beat them up. And you'll be lucky if you get the opportunity to love somebody, because the Most High may not even give you that opportunity. You've been beating love. You've been tormenting love. You've been fighting with love. You've been calling it communication, but you've been putting on your boxing gloves and coming and you've been making war with love so that you could take their things. With a specific family line, a specific child, you have been abusing them and their love. You have been bringing conflict to those who love. And now you're being disconnected from all of the things that you brought fighting to love for. You're a wise guy who is in a position of privilege. And you learned through religion on how to attack those people who are simply being themselves, taking care of themselves, in service to others. You brought fighting, conflict, trauma, and despair to this person with your religious crap. You waged war on love. They're under adjudication. This High Priestess Arcana is here on her spiritual throne. Please do whatever you need to do with the genders. And somebody's under adjudication. Everything is being seen. By a main male. He's here, taking notes. We've got the fruits of your labor with the Knight of Pentacles, financial stability, rewards for your efforts. You, Arcana, High Priestess, have been seen as perfect. Somebody may want to have a child with you. You're not getting the message. There's a light being shined on those who are invisible, doing conflict for entertainment to the Evermores. They're in competition with these Evermores, and so they're behind the scenes. They're invisible. And for entertainment, they bring conflict to the mental body and to the lives of these people. To the mental body. They target the mind of the feminine. And this main male is here watching this. He's like, what are you doing to my High Priestess? Excuse me? What are you doing to my Evermore? This mature woman is working hard, bringing conflict and competition to the Evermore love unions. That's what she spends her vitality on. That's what she spends her life force on. She doesn't create anything except conflict. She totally misuses her creator abilities. So, you've got creator is on the positive side. That is the creator that creates goodness and beautiful things in the world. And then you've got adversity, which is the adversary, which is against love, which wishes to destroy love, which wishes to tear it down, right? Privileged lady was able to defend herself here in the near future. And this is the karmic wheel. Coming into rewards for hard work and perseverance. Optimistic. Optimistic. Could be getting with a wealthy man on the distant horizons. Earth angel or a temperance energy, making difficult decisions from an emotionally stable and compassionate position. This is their purpose. They're not in despair. They're weary. They're weary over having to defend this reunion and this marriage. They're weary over having to defend harmony and domestic happiness. They're weary over having to defend their financial opportunity and their abundance. They're weary over having to defend their negotiations and their contracts. But justice is being served on the ones who shine. They're weary, but justice is being served for the main female. The privileged lady, the main male is here watching this. He's like, what have you been doing to my main female? What have you been doing to my evermore? That's what he's saying. He's watching it. He's observing it. He's watching everything you're doing to this privileged lady. She's not alone. You may think she's alone and that you can bring all this attack to her and you can mess with her mental body and you can just really lay it on, but there's a defense here. She's not alone. You picked a wrong target. You picked somebody that is love and a great spiritual fortune. You tried to destroy this, but this is loved. Somebody doesn't want this to be destroyed. You're trying to destroy this person, and somebody doesn't want you to. Somebody actually appreciates this living spiritual fortune. So they're rushing in to defend their beliefs. Well, this is why I did it. I was taught to communicate in this way. And they're fearing change. They're holding on. They're grasping at straws at this point. They're trying to stop a marriage still. They're not giving up. They're still working hard to try to stop this marriage. And that's going to be ending soon in a coffin and imprisonment for this whole freaking community. This high honor main female is going on a journey and coming into sudden wealth. It doesn't matter what these ones think about it or how they feel about it or how much fighting they bring for it. This is winding down. There could be an official person who's a thief, facing poverty and bad health. They're facing poverty and bad health because these lovers are coming together. So if the lovers unite, that means that their lives are over and they're fighting tooth and nail, but they've got imprisonment and a coffin here for this whole community. They were not able to attain a marriage. They couldn't interrupt a marriage. They couldn't mess around with this marriage at all. The work and the toil and the labor that they've been doing is in the coffin for this whole community, and they're facing imprisonment. I'll be glad when the story changes. It looks like it's about ready to. It's like these two have to extract themselves out of this mess that is trying to just suck them in, you know, like a black hole. Reveal. Adjudication. Reveal. I want to tell you the truth. The truth is coming out. This Arcana High Priestess who's sitting on this spiritual throne is exposing everything. And it's under adjudication. This main male is here. And he's making an observation of everything regarding this reconciliation. He's like, who, what, where, why, when, how. Shadow side. Everything is being revealed. Everything that was done in the shadows is being revealed. And these people who are under adjudication are challenged by this. They're being made to realize their flaws. Somebody didn't get a message, or somebody's trying to hide a message about some perfection, some rewards for the fruits of your labor, this financial stability. That's what this Arcana High Priestess has. She has a financial stability. She's getting rewarded for the work she's doing. She's doing it to perfection. She's not repeating what somebody else said to her. She's not repeating somebody else's message. She's irreplaceable. And time came out in the reverse, so it could be that she moved beyond time. It could be that while time has stopped, and for this scenario, she has been given additional time. The Hermit is here shining a light on these invisible entertainers, those who entertain themselves from behind the scenes, or from invisibility, by getting into the mindset of divine feminines and masculines, by tweaking with their mind, bringing conflict to their mind. They're unsatisfied. They feel unappreciated. They were just daydreaming. They feel unappreciated. That you don't what? You don't appreciate the way that they were effing with your mind? You don't appreciate the fact that they're unsatisfied with their work against you? They want you to appreciate the damages they've caused. Damn it. This mature woman, her occupation, her entire life is spent around bringing conflict and competition to ever more relationships. That's her only value. That's all she's good for, is bringing conflict to ever more divine kingdom spouse unions. That's it. That's all she's good for. She feels broken because she's been using sex to cause conflict and competition in the evermore unions. She's been getting into the mental body of these people, and she's been causing sexual urges and infidelity in these unions. She feels broken, and so she decided to go out and break every other divine feminine in the world through her sneaky little invisible tactics of getting into the mind and causing infidelity in divine unions. That's her value. That's all she is. That's all she's worth. And she won't be able to mend this situation. There's no way this can be mended. This privileged lady was able to defend herself. She's coming into this karmic life cycle. She's got the great fortune, the spiritual great fortune, and this relationship with these broken people will not be mended. They have taken it way too far. You will be coming into the rewards for your perseverance through these challenges. You may be getting involved with a wealthy person on the distant horizons. Wealth can mean a great spiritual fortune. It could mean energy. It could mean, the solar plexus chakra is lit up and you're pouring stars out all over the multiverse. That could be the wealth that this wealthy man sees. Escape. Somebody wants to escape this. This wealthy man could have been somebody from a previous cycle. This wealthy man could have been somebody who was part and privy to that shit that was piled on top of you, because he feels like he needs to escape. And it says, I left when things got hard. So it's like he left you and he went and enjoyed his wealth. And now it's like he wants to come back in on the distant horizons because he wants to escape. So he's like, hey, privileged lady, remember me? And you're like, hey, schmuck, what are you even doing here? I don't know you. Aw, he wants forgiveness. He doesn't want to be in despair over your destiny. He doesn't want you to cut him out, but you're making difficult decisions, and he will be cut out because he tried to mess with your purpose. You're weary. He put you in a 9 of Wands. You were in the worst defense position. And how long were you in that position? Defending love, defending your marriage, defending your ability to serve in that role. And they kept stepping on you and cheating on you and bringing home whatever gifts his little floozies gave him. So there's new negotiations here. Justice is being served. You're a shiny little person or a big person, and you are coming out of this situation. And they're chasing you. And they're chasing you. So be aware. You got this leech chasing you. Because they're facing imprisonment and death. And a coffin. And they weren't able to get a marriage with you. So they're stalking you. And they're stalking you. Missed opportunity. This whole community is facing imprisonment for what they did to you, and it's an unexpected outcome. They didn't expect you to survive this heartbreak, this trauma. They're in regret over what they did to an inseparable union. No matter what they did, no matter how much trauma they caused, they couldn't stop you from coming back together with your main male. And now they're reminiscing because they're being detached. And they're found unworthy. They've got bad habits. They've been found unworthy of this new chapter because they made mistakes and they caused confusion. And that's all they'll bring to the new chapter too. But you have hope because you've got a new soul contract. You're exiting this scene, these competitors of love. It's like, get out of my life. Get out of my field of awareness. Just disappear already. Just disappear already. They stole time from this high priestess. They stole time from her by bringing mental instability, by causing conflict in her love relationships, by constantly bringing trauma and drama from the shadow side and placing it on this arcana. They stole time from this privileged lady. And now they have to pay for that. They have to pay for all that trauma. Because it wasn't just her that received it. It was every masculine that she loved. It was every mother figure and father figure she loved. It was every brother and sister that turned on her that she loved. This bullying and this conflict is stopped. It's all revealed what they've been doing to this high priestess arcana who's seated on a spiritual throne, and this conflict and this bullying has to stop. This main male is here observing all of this regarding the reconciliation, and he sees these ones working on the shadow side, bringing all this conflict to this arcana. They sit there and they say that they're these high honor people, but they're working on the shadow side against an actual arcana, wearing some sort of mask that they're this mature woman. They're bound to their commitments on the shadow side. They wanted this high priestess to pay this commitment, but it didn't work out that way. They're responsible for their own choices and for their own deals. They made the deal. They have to pay the deal. They're protesting. This high priestess who's seated on this spiritual throne arcana, she's perfect. She's doing things perfectly. She's not regurgitating somebody else's message. She is connected to the Most High on this spiritual throne. She's irreplaceable. These ones tried to take out this individual who is connected to the Most High and who is seated on this spiritual throne. They've been bringing conflict. They've been bullying. They've been stripping love. They've been replacing love with infidelity and probably abuse of other kinds. This high priestess has been given more time. They took all this from her, and she's been given more time. They were trying to rob her of her spiritual throne, of her vitality, because she's perfect. They saw somebody who was perfect, and they strategized a way to strip her of her vitality, of her essence, and of her spiritual throne and her arcana status. They decided that somehow they would be able to strip her of all of her hidden high moral wisdom, her sacred intuition and knowledge in connection with the Most High. They thought that somehow they could take that from her and replace her with the Most High. The Most High would never know that it wasn't her anymore. They thought that they could really pull the wool over the Most High's eyes and trick them into believing that, they were her? This irreplaceable person? They thought that this robber, this thief, would somehow be able to pull it off. That they're a privileged lady when they're in the shadows. Yeah, they wanted to dominate. They wanted to mentally dominate and abuse this high honor arcana, and they did. They did with the intention of robbing her of her spiritual throne and her high priestess qualities. They were unfair. They didn't use any caution. They were a dictator, and they dominated her with every freaking piece of knowledge that they ever learned. They used it against her. invisible people doing things for entertainment. They can't get this woman out of their thoughts. They're unsatisfied. They feel unappreciated. They were just daydreaming. And now there's a death here. This mature woman, her only job was to use sex as a competition for ever more divine unions and to bring about abusive relationships, bullying, sneakiness, conflict, infidelity. They feel shattered about this situation because lust couldn't overthrow love. Lust couldn't overthrow love. When it becomes too sticky, too dangerous, too disgusting to have intimate relationship because of this bitch and her team, then people tend to go in and they tend to love themselves because this is vile. Who would want to get involved in that bullshit that this disgusting individual dreamed up to come against divine union and sacred union with? Them and all their friends. That was their goal. That was their entire goal, was to bring lust against divine and sacred union. That's what they chose to pour all of their vitality and their essence into. They didn't grow a garden. They weren't on the board of the community gatherings. They didn't feed the homeless. They didn't pray their connection to the Most High. They didn't work and develop their own great fortune. And now they're facing confinement. They're going to have to live and learn. They can't mend this situation. This privileged lady was able to defend herself, and she's on the top side of this karmic life cycle, and this mature woman is on the other side. She's facing confinement for what she did. She'll have to live and learn. There's going to be some tough lessons, that's for sure. Excuse me, spiritual burp. But you know what? Any of us who had to go through this to find out the truth, the difference between lust and sacred union. I mean, many of us just discovered that the only real way to have sacred union is to love self and to love God. Because this stuff is untrustworthy, unreliable. It's disgusting. This wealthy man is in fright. He wants to escape on the distant horizons. You're optimistic. You're coming into the rewards for your perseverance. You're an earth angel, or you're in the temperance energy. You're making difficult decisions from a compassionate and emotionally stable position. Your purpose is what? Bringing people out of despair and offering forgiveness. But these ones wanted to take you down. Maybe you didn't offer them forgiveness, and maybe they just wanted to take you out. There's an obligation here. So you're in service. You're an earth angel. You're here in service. And you've been overloaded. You're in a 9 of Wands. These ones really stuck it to you, man. Your purpose is to bring people up out of despair, to offer forgiveness from an emotionally stable and compassionate heart. And you're making decisions right now. You're on your spiritual throne. You are in service. You are in service to your obligations. You're the privileged lady, the main female, weary, yet resilient. And there's a new contract here, a new spiritual contract. A new spiritual contract. There might be some frustrations here, because people are chasing you still. They're chasing after you. They're overloaded. They want your forgiveness, but you're like, I'm walking away, man. You like, hello, I'm walking away from you. Hello, this is what you gave me. I'm walking away from you. Don't chase me. Don't chase me. Don't chase me. You're not welcome here. Top of the peak, top of the mountain. The adventure, that's what these ones chose, their adventure. Their adventure was to drive you to succeed. But you did. And now they're fearing change. You actually, they were driving you to succeed, but you actually succeeded. And now they're freaked out. They're like, oh no, now things are going to change. Because you survived. You reached the peak. They couldn't put you in a coffin, but their toil and labor against you will end. They are no longer able to move against this marriage. They're facing imprisonment. They miss their opportunity. This whole community. You reach the top of that peak. And they're stressed out in their pride because you're the gift. And you received aid. It was fate, okay? They're furious about this great idea they had to get your wealth, because now they're facing illness and danger. They're in danger. They're in literal danger over what they did against this family, against the family, the sacred and divine union. This lustful bunch coming against love and sacred union. You were ready. You may not have known it. They're seeking an apology. But you have this vow. There's a vow here. They were working magic on you, and while they were working magic on you, you were earning merit. You were earning merit. And they were blind. They didn't know. They were blind the whole time, or you could have been blind. They fell into their own trap. They created a blind trap for you that would put you in a nightmare, but they fell into it themselves. They put it out there, and now they get to experience it. That's justice. And you're coming into a new family tree. That's justice. I'm going to go ahead and leave that one here. That's a good place to stop. I hope this clarifies something that you already knew, and I'll see you on the next one.